I don't do anywhere near as much restaurant and bar work these days as I used to. But this was for years one of my very favorite ways to start at a table. Because it uses a glass that's already on the table. What you do is you show your hands empty like this, right? You come up, you go, hey, I don't know if you can see, but there's a hole in space right there. And from that hole, watch, I'm gonna make a coin impossibly appear. So this is a very simple, very direct, and in that regard, absolutely undeniable moment of what I'd call pure magic. Nothing selected, there's nothing borrowed. You walk up and within 5 seconds, boom, out of nowhere. Your sleeves are up, you've shown both hands empty, and yet still a coin appears. So in that way, you immediately establish that you are a real magician, right? You're not just Uncle Fred who kind of farts around with a few tricks. Now this is based on a very old idea they used to do in stage manipulation acts, because you'd have a card back palmed, okay? And this idea of being able to, when you move your hands from one position, from this position here to this position, there's a really strong impression that they see front and back of both your hands. But of course, you're concealing a card behind the same time, okay? Now I'm seated here at the table, but this is even more comfortable to do and move your hands appropriately, sort of in a relaxed fashion when you're standing up, which you typically are in restaurant and bars. You walk up and you go, boom, okay? So I'm using the Goshman pinch, or it's actually the Tenkai pinch, popularized by Albert Goshman. And I typically get into it a la Scotty York, because the original Tenkai was like this, okay? But Scotty York came up with the idea of making a fist. You're essentially holding the coin at fingertips and thumb. You're going to make a fist below it, okay? So you just move it down to a fist, grab it with your pinky there like that. It's behind the hand. Okay, so you can literally walk up to a group of people, have it in finger palm or thumb palm, whatever, okay? Hey, how you doing? My name's Jay, I'm a magician. I make a hole. As soon as you're here, your hands are up, pulling focus, then you drop your hands to the side there. Everyone relaxes. There's nothing to see down there anyway. And down at your side, you load it into the pinch. And now you bring the hand up here as the other hand comes up here and say, I'm going to make a hole in space. So I'm going to use my two hands, and you can do this. Or you can move right up into the hole in space thing like this, okay? You're here, then move down into here, okay? Now, I wouldn't say there's nothing in my hands. You can see there's nothing in my hands because then immediately people are looking carefully. Could he be concealing something in his hands, right? That's not what you want. So just to be able to say with my two hands, or even just with my 4 fingers and 2 thumbs, I'm going to make a hole in space. And you can, look everybody in the eye. And this is a great way. Your position shouts, my hands are absolutely empty. They clearly, right? I mean, there's no debating that. Your sleeves are up. It's here. Now, you're going to use a larger action to cover a smaller action. Very Divernon theory here. You're like this, okay? Like this, they're looking here. Now, I've done this in the people's hands. Hold your cupped hands, which works beautifully when you can bring them. But one of the downsides is when the coin appears from nowhere and lands in their hands, I often will have people go, oh, and they drop the coin. Like they're surprised, right? Even if they're not screaming their head off a la Exorcist, they're still surprised, okay? You're here, and what you're going to do is you don't want to move the finger up so much that they can see it. It's more of a pinky moves forward. You're pushing it forward enough that the coin falls. It's a slight adjustment. It's not an opening, it's a slight adjustment, okay? And you're going to do that with the hands not perfectly flat, but slightly angled, okay? Because you don't want it to fall straight down. First, you can break the lip of the glass there, but you're going to angle it slightly, so it's going to slide basically down the fingers or even slightly down this angle here into the glass. You go watch carefully, 1, 2, and on 3. The large action you're going to do is moving the hand slightly forward, okay? Boom. You could do it downward, but I think forward's the call. Forward while the coin's falling downward. They kind of balance each other out. 1, 2, and 3 like that. And you show your hand. Hold this for a beat. Do not go from the drop, okay, to basically open your hands, because you're almost telegraphing it was behind the hand, right? Just hold it for a beat there like that, then bring the hands away. I mean, you created this space, and a coin has appeared from nowhere. As a performer, I have a bunch of skill sets, different kinds of things. I got pretty good timing, decent sense of humor, good pair of hands. The one thing I can't do, I've never been good at, is doing impressions of people. I'm just not very good at that. However, my playing cards are great at doing impressions. Now, I'll show you exactly what I mean. First, I want you to think of any word in any language right now. Any word, any language. You got one in mind? Okay. What's the word? So, kangaroo. Okay, now, all that bouncing up and down doesn't say anything about you. Promise it doesn't. Kangaroo. Okay. So, freely chosen word. Now let's have a freely chosen card. I'm going to go through the cards like this very slowly, and I want you to say, that's my card. Okay, here we go. Very slowly. Right there. You're sure. That's your card. Okay. Now, do you have any idea what the card is? Well, let's take a look. What do we got here? It's the Joker. Works well with a kangaroo. So in fact, let's make this card unlike any other card in the world. I'm going to write the word kangaroo on that card. Right there. Okay? Now, to make it a real challenge for all the other cards, okay, I'm going to isolate your card. Okay, get rid of that. I got to put that down here like this in my pocket. There it goes. Okay? Very fairly. Now, let's see which card is going to do an impression of yours first. First card up is Queen of Diamonds. She's quite good. Let's see if she can do an impression. I'm just going to rub her, just a little rub, and let's see if, oh, I think you'd agree. That's a very good impression of your card, okay? So the Queen of Diamonds did a great job. Nicely done, Queen. Let's see another card here. Let's see if the Three of Diamonds can do an impression of your card. Watch carefully. Just a little rub like this, and hopefully, yes, and again, a beautiful job, the Three of Diamonds. But of course, these are impressions. This isn't real, okay? This is an illusion. All I have to do is snap my fingers, and I break the illusion, okay? Because we're back where we started, with your playing card inside my pocket. And of course, these two cards now have gone back to their original cards. I created my trick Imposters to be an absolutely bulletproof, anytime, anywhere kind of card trick. There's so many virtues about this. The thing I like the most about it is I've figured out a way to have a presentational, sort of a motivation. This notion of doing impressions of each other is a perfect umbrella concept for me to get as many changes as quickly as possible and move things along in a way that makes some sense, that gets people engaged. All right? So, 2 glasses. The glasses. Each glass is a mini stage, a mini theater. Really isolates the magic, okay? A lot to be said for using these 2 glasses. You can leave the cards on the table or in people's hands, but the glasses are by far in the way. And it takes this trick from a close-up trick to something I can do in a stand-up setting. Deck is shuffled. Anytime during my show, I just say, hey, you guys have been great. I think you might have noticed by now I have kind of a crazy sense of humor. It's true. And, with the sleight of hand, I've got some decent hands. The one skill I always wish I had but never did? Wish I could do impressions. I wish I could do impressions. It'd be great. I can't. But my cards can do impressions. And as soon as I say my cards can do impressions, it's like, what? So you got this curiosity. And curiosity drives people to invest in the magic, which is what I really like. Okay, so you say, look, think of any word in any language right now. They do. Now, this almost always leads to comedy. When they say they were thinking of desk, or they were thinking of mannequin, or they're thinking of this, or like just as soon as you get people engaged, it always, and they say a word, and you can then play it, and hopefully in a friendly way, tease them a bit about why that word. All right. So let's go with the word stone. Okay, not stoned, not stoner, but stone. Okay. Fine. We got a word. Now I'm going to go through the cards, and I don't have them pick a card or name a card or what's one of your favorite cards, which drives me crazy. I simply go through and say, just tell me when that's my card. And I dribble the cards very slowly, really emphasize anywhere they want. This works for stand-up. It looks very fair. That's my card. They say, okay, fine. I ask them, take the card off. Do you have any idea what the card is? And when I do that, I'm just getting ready for my double lift, right? And I take it off. I flick it. Now, if you're great at a strike double. Thank you. If your strike double is strong, great. But if you're in a situation where you want to make sure you cannot miss it, I just take it off, flick it to draw focus here while pushing this off here, bring this back over, and now I've got my get ready. I do my double lift. Okay. And we had the word stone, not stoner, not stoned, stone. Now, you could have them put their autograph on it, but I think this is a lot more interesting, a lot more entertaining. So there it is. So I turn the double over, blow on this, shake, and put it down inside my pants pocket or my jacket pocket. Down it goes in the pocket. Very fair, right? Then I give the cards a cut. All right? Is it to any card? And I turn it over, and again, I'm going to do another double lift, in this case, the 2 hearts. But the cut I gave was a false cut. I do kick cut, keep a thumb break here, double undercut everything back to the top and do a double lift, and I've been able to show it 2 of hearts, okay? Now, of course, the sign cards are the card with the word stones underneath here. I just say here like this, give it a little rub. I'm doing the Houdini Erdnase color change, Erdnase Houdini color change, I think it is, where I'm pushing the card slightly forward, then with the heel of the hand, sliding it back, then moving it forward, then squaring it with my thumb, okay? This is not hard to do. It's important to get that circular action. It changes. Turn over the double. First change is done, and you've already switched that back out, which is so nice, okay? Then do a straight other second double lift. Now, you've shown the sign card, then you put it on there very fairly, okay? Now when you come back up and you do another double lift, it's great because it shows this, but it's also a way of letting them know for sure that it's not like the sign card is secretly here, okay? So really supporting a couple of different ideas here at the same time. Showing this another Erdnase Houdini change, like that, right? Turn this double over like this, boom, like that. Take this, put this here. The 2 separate spheres of focus. The fact that you can change a card, I mean, this is magic. Doing that twice is magic. These 2 are about to change, and it's cumulative. So there's a real build in this, which I really like. And then I admit to the fact that this is, in fact, it's an illusion. All I have to do is snap my fingers. And as soon as I snap my fingers, I one-hand top palm the card, okay? That is not an easy move. It's not easy, okay? You're pressing with the finger here and curling the tip slightly. And it's going to leverage right on that tip there. It's going to come off, okay? This is knacky. It will take time, but you'll get it, okay? Like that. Like this. As soon as I snap, because I say it was actually everything, show my hands empty, transfer, and snap. All focus. Boom, like this. Say, actually, go to my pocket, and I produce the card out of my pocket. I lick the back for a second, slap it on my forehead, bring these 2 together, tap if you want, whatever, and turn, and you get this beautiful final image. For me, if I only could do one card trick for people, apart from maybe my classic paperclip with the sign card, this is definitely, you can go from right into this into paperclip notice and card to wallet and everything. This to me is definitely plays so well. I can do it small, I can do it big. So many things about imposters that really work really well for me. Here is a demonstration. It's an unforgettable demonstration. And it's all about friction and heat. See, right now, I've got this drinking straw, and I've got this ring. You can borrow the straw, you can borrow the ring. And right by sliding it back and forth, there's some heat being generated, a little bit of rubbing action in the middle of the straw. Now, the straw is plastic, so it's getting warmer, and the molecules are getting warmer. And if I've done it enough, hopefully the molecules are now so warm that I'm hoping I can actually pull the ring through the straw and then put the ring right back on the straw, and everything can be examined. There are many small secrets or bits of misdirection and psychology that combine to make this an especially deceptive routine. But at its core, you're switching 2 things in 2 directions. And that makes it impossible for the mind to even begin to put it together. The fact, too, that both these are borrowed items really makes this a next level trick, okay? Borrowed straw, borrowed ring. What I really like, too, is now all over the world, more and more countries are not using plastic straws, okay? They're using paper or cardboard straws, which is perfect for this trick because even though this played, and I've done this many, many, many times where people always gets great reaction, it's less credible that you could have pulled the ring. When you pull a ring through a plastic straw, it immediately raises the question, how do you do that, okay? Whereas when you pull a ring through a paper or cardboard straw, it's infinitely more believable. It's less complicated to go, okay, pulled it through. So you have this fast thing, pull off, becomes less of a magical penetration, more of a tear. A tearing action, and then you heal it when you reattach. So I think, I have started using this. It's been a couple of years, started using this in some of my recent work with the cardboard and paper straws, and the reactions are lovely, okay? So you need to borrow a ring, you need to borrow a straw, and you need to make a gimmick. The gimmick is in my right hand. The gimmick is here. It's about an inch and a half of straw, okay? That is bent in half at one end, okay? So I really took about a 3-inch length of straw, bent it in half, and put some clear tape over the ends. That's it, okay? Very simple one-time make. That starts and finishes in your right-hand finger palm, okay? So comfortable. I mean, you're putting away your deck of cards, your coins, whatever. You get this in finger palm. Have someone pass a straw. Restaurant and bar situation, or if you're doing walk around and you can literally just use this as a magic wand. Have it sticking out of your shirt pocket. Take it out. Hand it to someone. Take a look at that. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these before. And there you go. And take a very close look at it and whatever. And of course, they examine the straw. You borrow the ring. You're good to go. So you start. Put this on here like this. Rubbing back and forth. So notice the two hands are mirroring each other. When they mirror each other, there's far less suspicion. If you were doing this like this, then of course it draws attention over here, right? Okay, and you don't want to be doing that. So the hands mirror each other. You're talking about creating friction. Then you bend this in half, like this. And really, at this point, lean into the people. Let them see. Do this. They can see it is clear. This isn't an optical illusion. The ring is still clearly on the straw. Everybody can see that. It's on. And once you get it in this position, you're ready to go. I'm going to come over and I'm going to make it look like I pulled the ring off. But what in fact I'm going to do is deposit this and take the entire straw. Okay? Here's the exposed view. I'm coming over. I'm going to leave this. There's nothing delicate about this. I don't go from a clip here. I mean, you could for sure, but I just go from finger palm. And what's my focus? Finger and thumb are grabbing the ring. Finger and thumb are grabbing the ring. And I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to reach a little deeper. Okay? And when I reach a little deeper, all I do is I leave the folded straw here in that position, okay? And I'm going to pull off the ring up and forward. But when I do the two actions together, dropping one thing, leaving another, the visual illusion of the ring being pulled off the straw is perfect. But the entire straw actually goes along for the ride, okay? It may seem cumbersome, but practice it a few times. Remember, this moment is all about it coming off. So it makes sense that it requires a little bit of effort to get it off. You're pulling off, and that sound. You don't get quite as much now with the cardboard straws, unfortunately, but it still looks great. You're here, you're pulling like that, boom, and off. And so I have the entire straw here like this. The one thing you want to avoid is making sure, I don't know if it caught on camera earlier, you don't want them to be able to see that the little bit of straw, even this much here, there, it's going to destroy the illusion, right? So you're here, pull apart. Then to finish, you reverse action. I'm going to come over, exact same as before. Let's try from this side. I'm going to come over. I'm going to leave the straw literally in the same spot. I'm going to place the spoon, leave the straw here. But really what I'm going back for is to finger palm this piece there. Going to grab it in finger palm while leaving the ring and straw at the same time. So I'm perfectly reversing the action. Here's the slightly exposed view. Is here, grabbing it in finger palm here, leaving that there, and wiggling. You want to move from this position, vertical, to a horizontal. Hand comes up and wiggling. That puts all the and don't let go just yet. That put all the focus on the ring and treats this as if it's always been there the entire time. In performance speed, we are here, here, like this. Then slowly come over and open this like this and hand that to someone, or you can put it on the table, whatever. It's just a beautiful, visually driven, perfect illusion with borrowed items. I'm very lucky because I experience this world as filled with mysteries. There are all kinds of things that happen and that make me feel and think certain things I can't explain. One of them is music. I love music, all kinds of music. I don't care what kind of music it is. Love all kinds of music. And, when I'm at the gym or on my bike or just at home and I'm wearing a pair of headphones there and listening to music, I just think it's amazing the way it makes me feel. It's very mysterious and there's something almost inherently magical about it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. I want to take that notion of music being magical and try something here. All the cards are different. You spread them out. A person can touch any card they want in the pack. They touch one. You push it forward, okay? You don't even move it from the deck. You just give them a quick little peek at the card. They remember the card. You square it back into the middle of the pack, okay? Very direct. You say, so that's with one spectator. You give the cards a bit of a cut. Spread through, have a spectator touch any card. They can change their mind if they want. Totally. It's up to them. And again, you don't remove it. You just give someone a little peek of the card. They see it. You push it back into the pack, okay? All that's happening there. You hand them the cards can be shuffled, okay? So any two cards in the pack are touched and peeked. They shuffle them back into the deck. They do everything. You've mentioned to the audience about you experience these moments of magic wearing your earphones. In fact, you say you have them right here, in fact. But you remind them, they could have touched any card in the pack, right? And then in full view, you grab your earphones, a set of these, and you say, I'm going to wrap the deck in these, okay? Very fairly. You say, watch. And this is a great way to close the show, because you just give the earbuds, you hold the two ends, and you give them a shake. And the audience sees impossibly 2 cards from the entire pack end up caught on the earbuds. Selection 1, selection 2. One of the most direct ways to share magic with people that is unforgettable is by creating images that are unforgettable. You can practice card tricks for many years. Your palming, your pinky pull down, your secret counting, your secret controls. This image will live on in people's minds much longer and strike people as, I think, ultimately more magical, more impossible. The effect is here. If you were walking down the street and you found just this, you'd know something strange is going on. Something happened. This is the kind of magic I love to do, and this is so simple. Used to have much more complicated handling and do these kinds of things. Did something with short cards, and I switched this for a while, and I just stopped doing it all, okay? This is what you do. Grab a razor blade, cut an X, just a small X, okay, in the middle of an ace, and a small X in the middle of the jack, okay? Pull them so they are basically like a one card together in the middle there like that, okay? Have this laying off to your side on a chair, in your case, whatever, with the ends hanging over the edges of the chair or outside your case. The 2 cards are face down, okay? Then when I want to perform this, you need the ace of diamonds and jack of spades, duplicates on top, okay? This is a great way to close your show. All the cards are on the floor. You did something very dramatic. And what's cool about this is you can do this for 3 people. You can do this for 300 people. 300 people can see there are 2 cards there, and they, even if they can't see the faces when you say thank you so much, or the people close up who touch the cards, the whole thing comes together. They can see that impossibly somehow you found the cards. And the cards are never removed from the deck, okay? They're never removed. It's not like they even take them. It's almost got a 2 thought of cards feeling to it, okay? Then on top, the forces I'm using is a variation on Frank Garcia's wonderful move, Topper, right? Fanning out the cards, they can touch any card. That one, you want to change your mind, you can put it back in. This one, you want to change your mind, they can change their mind a few times. You're going to make it look like you simply, this looks sticking cards together, that you turn the hand over and give them a quick little peek at the card and push it in. That's what it's going to look like. Very fair. You're going to hold up the cards also so they can see in the background your head is turned, okay? Your head is turned. But in fact, you're forcing the top 2 cards. And the way you're doing that is in the action of turning the hand over, okay? I'm going to push these 2 flush and pull with my thumb off the top one to show that one there like this. Then I'm going to tap it, and it's just being held by thumb and finger. Tap it. It looks exactly like it goes back into the... Now notice, only if you turn it all the way can they see the discrepancy. So this is why I'll often do this to the people on the far right. Someone touches a card. Now, there's no way I can get busted. Not even that person can. They see it. I tap it. It's actually just being held on top, though. Boom, like this, okay? And as I come down, you can riffle the edges and give them a flash of it going into the middle if you want. Okay, and by that I mean they touch a card, you turn it over, you show it to them, square it inside, and then just sort of close it up. So that's the first card, forced, right? Now, all I do is double cut that to the bottom of the deck, or you can slip that into the middle, then or just slip cut it into the middle. You want to make sure you got the second card on top. Do the exact same thing again. So the first person saw a jack, second person sees an ace. Hand the deck to them, shuffle the cards. So fair. Shouts that he can't know the cards, and even if he could, he definitely doesn't know where the cards are. No way, okay? They're somewhere in there, impossibly. Now, I like the presentation because for me, music is magical, okay? But you're here, and now I turn the cards face up, showing could be any one of these, and keeping the cards face up in that hand now, I reach into my case. Most natural thing, I'm already holding the deck. You go down, you pick up your cord, you come up. you're done. Because when I went down, all I did was grab the 2 cards, lifted everything up into full view here, and in a continuing action, the top one is pulled, I come down and around, and I'm wrapping, and I'm wrapping, and I'm wrapping. And they think, oh, here comes the trick's about to start. No, the trick is quite done. I love that part, okay? The 2 cards are on the bottom. They're already wrapped up like this. I've tossed them sometimes, try to get a tossing action to hold on to the deck so it doesn't hit the floor. But really, this is the most impressive thing, is to let it drop. And when you let it drop, you also give kind of a jiggling shake, because you don't want it to be too clear exactly where the cards were. If somebody in the front row is watching it closely, give it a shake like this. Down they all go. Try not to get, as soon as, if these are facing the audience, immediately turn them away, okay, like this. You're here like this. Give every moment its due. This is magic. Don't be too quick. Now, one of the things I love about this is the classic way to get applause from the audience with your hands spread. And now to reveal the moment of magic's here, and that's the applause cue. What was your card? Ace of diamonds. What was yours? Jack of spades. You turn and reveal the 2 cards on the cord. You can give that away. I mean, these in dollar stores, these just cost a couple of bucks. So what a killer souvenir to give this away, and what an astounding way to close your magic show.